Layton introduces us to a local high school athletic trainer in Russia right now, helping American athletes gear up for the games. Jess?
Yeah, that's right. Rick Knizek learned early on that when opportunity knocks, you have to say yes. A rotation with the U.S. Olympic Committee in California 10 years ago led to a relationship with the medical staff at the training center in Lake Placid. And then that led him to where he is for 2 weeks this month, working as one of the medical trainers for the U.S. bobsled and skeleton teams in Russia. I caught up with him before he left. When the bell rings at 2:40, the training room at Shenandoah High School gets slammed. And an already in-demand guy becomes even more popular. But Rick Knizek enjoys being all wrapped up in his work as the head trainer at Shen.
All right, David, there you are. It's nice to be able to, come back to where you grew up and give a little something back.
The students love him, but they're learning to share him. Knizek spends a lot of time with the U.S. bobsled and skeleton teams at their training facility in Lake Placid. And right now, he's traveling with those same Olympic hopefuls to Russia as they get acquainted with the brand new track at the Olympic facility in Sochi.
They're opening up the facility for an international training week.
It's the only time they can really get a feel for the track before they try to glide for gold in February.
A big part of this sport is being familiar with all the turns and everything associated with the track.
The athletes will be racing like it's the real deal, and in these 15 days, anything can happen, including injury. It's Knizek's job to make sure the bobsled and skeleton athletes are eating well, getting rest, and taking care of their bodies.
They're pushing a 1,000-pound sled and they're sprinting on ice all at the same time. So you can imagine, it's a lot of shoulder, upper back, lower back, hip, occasionally knee, Achilles type stuff that just gets really stressed.
There's also concern about traumatic injuries like concussions and the fear of facial injuries.
Skeleton is one of those sports where you run the risk of a jaw fracture because your chin, your face is literally inches off of the ice.
And this time of year, worries of cold and flu.
We'll have the antibiotics, we'll have the over-the-counter stuff, we'll have pretty much everything you could possibly think of with us, and it's a big deal.
A very big deal for the athletes who are training, and a big deal for Knizek, who feels lucky to have landed this opportunity.
It really is an honor to work with these guys and gals.
And after what he calls a once-in-a-lifetime kind of experience in a foreign place, it'll feel good to be home, where he got his start with his plainsmen again.
I try not to treat them any differently than I would the Olympians when I'm working with them. So
they're all your stars.
They're all stars in their own right.
And Rick returns to the Capital Region November 20th. We plan to catch up with him about his trip after he has a few days of rest. Now, he won't be going to the Olympics, which he says is fine because winter high school sports will be in full swing, and he really doesn't want to miss too much of that. I should also point out that when Rick was a kid, his dad took him to the 1980 Olympics in Lake Placid, where just by chance they watched the 4-man bobsled competition. So really seems like this was all meant to be. Jim and Benita, back to you.